Welcome to the Sauce Pod.
Welcome back to the Sauce Pod. I'm Taylor, your host of the Sauce, along with Anna here, creator and editor of the Sauce. We release a new episode wherever you stream your podcasts, or you can catch the latest podcast as a video on YouTube. We've also got the Sauce weekly newsletter that hits inboxes every Monday night, so look for that in your inbox Monday nights. You can also find us regularly on Twitter Spaces, where we hang out. We dive deeper into the topics that matter for content creators and entrepreneurs and creative businesses and founders of all types building online. So thanks for being here today. And thank you, Anna. Let's get into the sauce, or let's get lost in the sauce. I like that one.
Ooh, I do like that.
We've got a lot of good stuff to cover today. This week is suspiciously AI heavy.
Wonder why.
Lots of news to divulge and kind of get into on that front. But other than AI, we're also going to be talking about BeReal, because BeReal might just be losing some traction. We're going to be talking about LinkedIn's new collaborative articles, I think they're calling it.
I'm very excited about these.
Include AI. Everything.
AI generated.
This is just like the AI sauce now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and it just goes to show you, look at how far our tech has come and how now AI is being woven into every single piece of technology that we're using as creators. That we're not even going to recognize our tech stacks as we know them right now in 5 years from now, because everything is going to be AI driven. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. So YouTube Shorts monetization, the much anticipated YouTube Shorts monetization program launched, I think last month or this month, I don't know, a month ago.
Last month, yeah.
So Anna, you've got some results to share with us on how people are doing, how creators are faring out there on the wilds of YouTube Shorts. Snapchat has a new little feature to restore your streaks, which you also dropped some other really good knowledge on Snapchat and how much revenue they've generated. I think it was last quarter or something like that. So I'm excited to dig into that. Don't sleep on Snapchat, you guys. She's the oldest game in the book, but we still love her. TikTok is imposing a scroll limit for certain users. We'll talk about that. Twitter is breaking in new ways. Welcome to Monday, where every week there is a different story on Twitter and how it broke this week. So we'll talk about what happened this morning that shut down all of Twitter. That was chaotic, including myself. I was caught in the crossfire of it. And I'm just oh shit, right now is the worst time that Twitter could be down. But it was. And then, of course, we'll move into the AI scoop. So all the stuff that we were talking about earlier, we've got YouTube adding in AI-powered tools. We've got Meta's AI plans and what Meta's stake in the AI game looks like. Snapchat got some AI news there to share. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about a more advanced tech topic that's been making waves in the AI, especially image generation space right now, which is something called ControlNet. So I'll talk about that a little bit at the end. But let's pop into BeReal and talk about what's happening with this whole thing. Because I feel like BeReal is one of those things that we hyped up. A lot of people hyped up. I had a lot of faith in it. And then I've just kind of floundered out. I'll still check in on it, and I'll still put up a BeReal every couple, I don't know, weeks if I remember to. But part of my problem is the inopportune moments of when to post. And then I'm okay, well, that one's already over. I'm not even going to bother with it.
Yeah, I think, like you said, that's become the biggest issue with BeReal, and why it's starting to lose steam is just because it's the same thing over and over again. There aren't any new updates. I mean, we're not asking for crazy updates. We're not asking for Instagram to, type style updates. But BeReal has just stayed the same this entire time. And like you said, when I first downloaded BeReal, I was on it every day when the notification came across. But you can only send so many pictures into your BeReal feed of your face and your laptop. So that's been the problem kind of that we're seeing. The app really didn't move quickly enough to provide marketers with new features. It looks like it's falling behind other apps. So in October, worldwide downloads of BeReal reached an average of 15.2 million. And now, or at least in February, those downloads decreased to about 4.2 million. So daily active users have also decreased by 52% from an average of 14.7 million in October last year to now around 7.7 million in February. The article that I was reading, a lot of agencies, social media agencies, aren't really advocating for their clients to be on BeReal or to advertise on BeReal or do any of that, just because it's losing steam a little bit. So I think in order for BeReal to stay in the game, they're going to have to provide some kind of update or give some kind of new thing that pulls people back in. Because again, you can only really send so many pictures of. Really, the only times I got the BeReal notifications, I was either driving in my car or working. I don't know if that just like defines my life right there. Like that's just what I do. But there's only so many times you can send the same photo of something.
Yeah, especially if they're like timing it like in similar times each day or multiple times a day, where people are like thematically just as part of what they do in their routines every week are kind of like doing the same things. People are using it as almost like a memory tracker. Like they don't want to miss a day, so they'll just put something on it every day, no matter how like mundane or just ridiculous, like not always paying attention to the time to post, but just putting something up there once every day so that you can go back through your old, like, you know, because you can see everything, right? Like you can see everything in your archives. So you can only see, and nobody else can see it except for you. So you can scroll back and see, like, you know, how to track those memories. How that's really any different than just like a photos app. I guess there's the social component of it. And I think like that's the differentiator with an app like BeReal. And because now like brands are like sitting on their hands thinking like, well, do we go in that direction or do we just like jump off a cliff with all these other like more promising features from these other apps that are coming out? Because now everyone can subscribe to Blue on every platform apparently. So might as well just lean into that instead of testing the water with like a platform that doesn't really have a clear sense of direction for brands yet. BeReal could just like totally surprise us and take us off guard and be like, yo, here's what we're doing for all of you business people. This is the thing. But until then, I still just see it as like a playground for like personal accounts and like personal interaction, which is part of what it was meant to do anyways. So
right, it wasn't meant to be an advertising platform or a brand move. But again, the amount of, you know, the lower amount of downloads in average daily users is a little concerning.
It is. It is. So we'll keep an eye on this one and see how things kind of shake out for our good friend BeReal. I would hate to see it just like disappear, but you know, these things happen.
Same.
Lots of apps have come and gone over the last few years that just like didn't make it through. So I would love to see BeReal succeed, especially because I love their like mission and the intent behind that app is, I think it's great. But we shall see, because if they can't make monies and if other brands can't make monies using it, then we all know what happens.
Bye-bye.
So yes, bye. So okay, so let's talk LinkedIn then, because they've just recently rolled out something called collaborative articles. Is that right?
Yeah, so they're starting this new initiative. So it's called Collaborative Articles, and it's basically going to use AI-generated prompts to then, I guess, kind of call on specific users for their expertise and input. So I guess AI will generate, you know, whatever that conversation starter is about. And then based on like the, you know, skills you have in your profile, LinkedIn will then match that article with, you know, whatever relevant profile who can then contribute, you know, whatever info it is that they have based off of their professional experience to that article. And then once you share advice onto that, it'll continue, the article will then continue to get passed around to different experts in whatever field that is. So I guess AI is basically starting this conversation amongst like similar, you know, like-minded professionals or professionals that have similar experience. And this, you know, LinkedIn is hoping that this will help professionals to come together and add on and improve ideas. So those articles will then be highlighted in like your profile on the LinkedIn feed. You'll be able to see how many LinkedIn members have contributed. And then LinkedIn is also adding a new community top voice badge to specific profiles that have contributed to collaborative articles. I don't know, you know, exactly what the numbers or specifics are on that, but I guess if you're like a top voice in a certain skill, you'll then receive that badge on your profile, which, I mean, I think will help push people to add their advice and experience to these articles. I think this update is really cool. I'm excited. Hopefully they'll send me one that I can contribute to.
I know. I think this is fascinating. Like when people are contributing to it, are they generating the content they're contributing with AI, or is AI really just the like facilitator that kind of ties it all together into kind of like an essay or post or that kind of thing?
All I know is that AI is what ends up generating the initial prompt. So I don't think there's any
Okay.
AI like ChatGPT that's helping you write this. It's really just makes it an easy way for LinkedIn to boost engagement because AI is the one that's initially generating these prompts.
Amazing. I can't wait
It's
to
very
see it
cool.
actually. When you get hit with that request to contribute to a
Yeah.
robot article, you need to let us know.
For a fun article. I will. I will.
I'm excited. I am excited. And speaking of things that I'm also very excited for, this is something that I've been like waiting to hear about for ages. We've literally been talking about this YouTube monetizing
For a while.
shorts for like months, several months, because we were talking about it last year. And as YouTube was kind of laying the groundwork for its different creator paths to monetization, you know, this idea that shorts still isn't monetizable was something that I think prevented a lot of creators from really like leaning into the shorts format on YouTube. But then when YouTube was like, hey, we're going to make this a thing where you're creating on shorts, you can actually make money from that. And it launched last month, I think, right?
I think it launched at the beginning of the year.
Oh, did it? Okay.
I'm not sure the
Okay.
exact date, but I'm pretty sure it launched around the beginning of the year.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
would make sense. So probably like in January at some point. So it launched this like
Mhm.
revenue share program that collects revenue from shorts, like basically from the ad revenue from people viewing ads between your shorts, and then redistributes about half of that to creators based on views and eligibility. I'll let you finish
Mhm.
explaining it though, Anna, because I think
Yeah.
you've got some good details on it.
Yeah, so this case study that I specifically put in the newsletter is from YouTube star Zach King. His shorts from this month or this past month, the month of February,
Mm-hmm.
generated 196 million views. So from that 196 million views, he took home 2,918 in revenue share.
Mm-hmm.
So his results are around 0.02 RPM, but I guess some other shorts creators have reported seeing about 0.04 RPM. So the range is in between that 0.02 and 0.04. So, you know, those numbers sound really small, but it is still a lot better than TikTok's Creators Fund or Instagram's for
Mm-hmm.
Reels. And then King himself noted that there are some expanded benefits to these shorts because you end up getting, I guess, better exposure when you've joined the program. So the
Mm-hmm.
cost per view, yeah, we could look at it like, oh, 0.04 is a really small number. But the exposure
Mm-hmm.
that you end up getting and the fact that it is a lot better, getting paid a lot better than TikTok or Instagram will ever pay you is
Yep.
really cool. And as far as, I guess, Zach King is saying, he thinks the monetization will continue to go up over the years and favor creators. For right now, you know,
Absolutely.
they're still kind of testing it out. I love YouTube for this because
Yes.
she's always been so good about giving back to creators and actually helping them create a living out of something that they enjoy doing. So
100%. A couple things that I want to add to this is that comparatively, YouTube has had the best creator programs amongst pretty much any of the platforms for the longest amount of time, at least when it comes to like compensating and helping creators monetize and earn a living. So that being said, Shorts was being sort of like the caveat to that equation up until January, because shorts are a brilliant way not only to now start to like monetize and make money, but like to grow in general. At least over the last several months, creators who are doing stuff on YouTube Shorts are seeing like massive spikes in growth, in genuine connections, in views. I mean, like our YouTube is still very small, so like we're still working it, but we got to like 100 subscribers in just a few months, and all we've really been posting is shorts and like
mhm.
occasionally. And now these Sauce Pod episodes, of course, which you can watch
Mhm.
there. Humble brag, go watch it. No, but like that just goes to show you like growing from almost 0 to like 100 subscribers just in a pretty short period of time using only shorts. We did a case study a couple newsletters ago, I think, on one creator, Miss Firefly TV on YouTube, who started growing her YouTube channel. And I think 3 months ago, she started this process. 3 or 4 months ago. I'll have to like dig it through the archives. But primarily using like the YouTube Shorts format, was able to grow to 1,400 subscribers. So it's amazing what some people are doing and like able to like, because just look at the competition that TikTok or that YouTube has right now, especially when it comes to like TikTok being a massive consumer of the market space of like short form vertical video. Now YouTube's like, let me take my seat at the table. We will give you guys money.
More money than Instagram or TikTok. Yeah.
And we've talked about this a lot, but like the predictions that like YouTube could potentially swallow up TikTok whole. It would not surprise me if we live in a future world later down the line where like TikTok goes away, especially with all the like the spicy data issues and, you know, the illegality of TikTok on like certain devices and data harvesting, like all kinds of issues that TikTok's dealing with right now. So they better step up their monetization game. Otherwise, YouTube's just going to be like swooping in.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take over. Yeah.
But that's good to see. It's good to see. $2,900 off of how much did you say?
It was 198 million views. Yeah.
Okay. So it's like quite a bit, but for somebody who's creating like that viral level content consistently, posting multiple times a day, every day, like that's totally doable. And that's a pretty good chunk of change for that exchange. So cool to see. I can't wait to like hear more stories like this about YouTube and what they're doing. So if you're listening to this and you're trying your hand at YouTube, and you want to share your story or any growth lessons you've learned and you're using Shorts, let us know because I would love to talk about that with you. All right. Well, pivoting topics, let's talk Snapchat.
Yes.
Snap streaks, which I just want to preface this by saying streaks were totally my thing when I was using Snapchat for a while. Like you would have your like streaks, right?
Used to be, yeah, when Snap came out, or at least I guess when I was using it, not just to communicate. Now I use it with like a couple different friends, but when I was using it like 2 years ago, streaks were the thing. It was always like you sent the random photo and you wrote streaks in there and you sent that out to everyone that you had streaks with. Like there was there's no personalization to it. You're just like, this is my streaks and I have to keep this little fire emoji here just one more day. But Snapchat, I guess, is alleviating some of that anxiety for people. So you will be able to restore your Snap streak for the first time for free. So anytime you like lose a snap streak, this pop-up option will appear and you'll be able to restore it. But from there, like once you use up your free restore, you'll have the option to buy any additional restores. Why am I struggling to say restore? I don't know why that word sounds so hard. For 99 cents each time. Obviously, that's another way for Snap to add revenue because I mean, especially among like teenagers, snaps are serious. You could like break a friendship if you lose your snap streak. That's serious. And I mean, especially like I think the longest streak, I do still have one streak running right now, but it is only at like 500. Yeah, it's at 500, so subtle flags. And I would be really sad. I would be really sad if I lost that streak. I really would.
So now you can get it back.
Yeah, now you can restore it. And I mean, if I need like a day where I'm just not on my phone, or I don't have to have anxiety about going out to the middle of nowhere and not having any service. It does happen on my parents' farm. Because you'll be able to restore it when you get back.
I love that. I mean, it's a great way to keep people on the platform, like talking about ways to keep people like engaged with it as well. Like, are you going to have a streak going with like a brand or a content creator? Probably not.
Probably not.
On Snapchat, but it does mean that the platform is doing things to plant seeds of natural engagement, reasons to stick around and stay on the platform, to check in every day so that you maintain that streak, or to get it back if you lose it, like Anna would on the farm. People are into that, and like as a byproduct, that behavior does benefit some of these people who are creating on Snapchat in like a larger play, or some of the brands that are advertising there, because it means more eyeballs. It means more people, more active users, daily active users, I should say, on the app, which is always a good thing for brands.
Which their Snapchat Plus is doing really well. They're like, basically, it's like their Twitter Blue. It's their subscription service. They have 2.5 million paying subscribers right now.
That's insane. I didn't even realize that Snapchat was still doing it that hard. I think it's a cool thing. I'm proud of them. I just like Snapchat for me was like my college days a little bit after. And then like it kind of dropped off the map for me. I think I still have it on my phone. last time I tried to open it, my iPhone did that thing where it was pretending it deleted it, you know, and I was like, let me restall that shit for you. And I was like, I see you. I mean, that's so cool. Good for them. That makes me happy. I wonder how much is a Snap Plus subscription? It's like $3 or $4, right?
I think it's $3.99. I want to say
it's like a drop in the bucket compared to some of these other highway robbery subscriptions
for your blue
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, we've got some more Snapchat news later down the line when we're talking about AI, but give us the scoop on this whole TikTok scroll limit situation.
Yeah. So I like to think of this one as kind of like Netflix's notification for like, are you still here? Are you still sitting? Are you still watching? Are you still sitting on your couch? It's been like 4 hours. What are you doing with your life? Get up. But anyways,
like check in with your mental health, get off the fucking couch, crawl out from under that blanket.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically,
yeah, this is a wellness check.
Yes, TikTok is trying to do the same thing. So they are, facing some kind of backlash for children's safety on its platform.
Of course.
So they are implementing a 60-minute daily screen time limit for any users younger than 18. So this isn't like, oh my God, TikTok is no longer open. You can't open it anymore. I don't know. I had my parents like had their whole like parental controls on my phone when I was younger, and it was like once I had spent like 20 minutes on Instagram, the whole app just like locked and I couldn't get into it for another day. Really? TikTok is not doing this to you. They're not being a parent like that, but you will be prompted to enter a passcode. So it's basically requiring you to make like this active decision to extend, to spend more time on the app, swiping through videos.
It's just a hurdle.
Yeah, exactly. So make a choices, make an active decision. Set that password a really hard one you just can't remember. No.
This is reminding me of like Instagram's era of doing this kind of stuff. Even like Facebook for a while too. I think YouTube definitely has some parental controls and things like that. So is this something that is going to be automatic on accounts that okay.
So you can opt out of it. You can go to your settings and opt out of it, but it is automatically, I guess, imposed on any account of someone that is younger than 18. So their thought process is behind it is like, instead of having to go and actually make that decision to go and set the time limit for yourself, it's going to be set for you. So that kind of removes some of that,
because otherwise people would never do it.
Yeah. Why would you do that? Like, I'll get off of it when I get off of it. Yeah. So they're trying to limit some of your time on the app.
We'll keep an eye out. I love that TikTok is at least like pretending to be conscious about these types of things, whether it is or not. I mean, they'll still harvest all your data, but like, don't worry. For the kids, we got you. An hour.
1 hour.
It. Only one. We did our ethical part. No, I do think that's pretty cool though. So we'll see how it works out. Twitter news this week. I'll get back onto that train here in a minute. I was talking about it earlier. Twitter had a major meltdown today. I feel like we every week we have like a headline that says like Twitter broke.
Elon said something that's not true.
Yeah. So this morning around like 10, 11 a.m. Eastern time, Monday morning, Twitter just was like, no, not today. And it stopped. It did not do its thing it was supposed to do. Really, like the issues came down to like, it was a platform outage, but it was based around an API update that went wrong. And so people were getting issues like error messages when clicking on links. Every time I like was trying to send a link to some people that I'm like having a conversation with, we were literally scheduled for a call today at noon. I was like, I can't click the link through. Like, nothing's working. I don't have, how else am I supposed to get in contact with them? Email them? Like, we have a DM open. So I was panicking. I saw people posting about it. Error messages abound. Clicking on links, images failing to load. Other people were just not able to access Twitter. Other people were not able to access TweetDeck, which is Twitter's tweet organization platform. It was a hot mess. So apparently it came back online early afternoon, because when I went to go check for it again around like 2, 3 p.m., it was fine. Everything was fine. But sources are saying that the outage was caused by a change in the API, which ironically only one, say it with me, one site reliability engineer was reportedly on this project.
Only one.
So can you imagine this guy's like sitting in his like office, probably like 4 a.m. in the morning in like Silicon Valley. And he's like, well, nobody's here to approve this API update. So I guess I'm just gonna boop, hit it and we'll see what happens.
That's one thing that's been fascinating to me about Twitter and all of the layoffs is like Twitter was this huge company. So I'm sure there were some people who like, you know, were just making their TikToks about their day in the life of Twitter. And it's just them like sipping kombucha and like
it just does not exist
around.
Anymore.
Right. Now I feel like it's back to like a small business almost type feel working there. I'm sure that's so stressful for the people.
Well, yeah, I mean, imagine being like the one person who holds the key to this update and you're just like, well, I guess it's all on me. So if it gets fucked up, sorry.
I don't know if you saw all the stories of the girl who slept at the Twitter headquarters and she brought a sleeping bag and then she got fired. I felt so bad for her. I would have been furious.
I know. Twitter is down to like 550 employees, I think is the rough number right now. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was 300, but yeah, you might be right on 550.
We also know that like Twitter has like basically imposed a gag order on all of its remaining employees. They've really cracked down on like talking to the press, talking about what you do at Twitter. Like if you work at Twitter now, you are a closed book and you have pledged your entire soul and all of your firstborn children to Elon Musk because like you're not getting any information out of there. Obviously, leaks are still happening. There's journalists and reporters that are talking about this kind of stuff, which is how we get the scoop as well. But it's crazy. Like, just like you were saying, there's no one walking around their office anymore doing like a day in the life of a Twitter employee. Like it does not exist because the culture that existed at Twitter no longer exists. It probably got sold along with their like neon signs and toilet seats or whatever the fuck they were selling in those like the liquidation auctions. It's so bizarre. Like when I say that loud, it's just like
so weird.
No one could have predicted this shit. I swear. But Twitter's back up and running, you know, like suffice it to say this shit's going to happen again, especially as Twitter is rapidly pushing out like new updates. They're trying to make revenue for themselves. They're trying to help the users stay on the platform, give people a reason to stay on the platform as well. Like I'm sure they're just like scrambling. It's a super, super lean setup over there, I'm guessing. I've heard like rumors of Elon Musk potentially saying that he would be okay with by the end of this year having somebody else step in and like take over Twitter. We'll see what happens, you guys. All of which is
we don't know.
Like this is not the end. It will continue. I mean, I had like 2 spaces last week where there was like multiple people on both of the spaces I was on, couldn't like hear the hosts and like were like talking over each other, got kicked out. Like it was a mess. So just tread lightly and like take everything on Twitter with a grain of salt at this point. Just be like, we'll see if this works. Don't buy blue.
If you're seeing Elon's tweets in your feed like every other tweet, sorry, not sorry, we scammed the algorithm.
No more, sir. I don't have him in my algorithm anymore because I like
blocked him.
Yeah.
There you go.
Shh, don't tell Elon.
Don't tell Elon.
He still thinks I'm following him. All right, so that's what's happening with Twitter situation. Let's get into this AI scoop. We've got a couple really good updates here. So starting with YouTube, circling back on YouTube, what do we got happening on the YouTube front when it comes to AI?
So they haven't given us exact details on the updates, but Neil Mohan, I believe is the way to pronounce his last name, he recently took over as head of YouTube last month. So in his first message, he said that, quote, the power of AI is just beginning to emerge in ways that will reinvent video and make the seemingly impossible possible. If these actually end up happening, these are really cool. I guess part of that will be that YouTube creators will be able to virtually swap their outfits in videos or create, quote unquote, fantastical film settings through AI generative capabilities in the coming months. So this is one that we're going to definitely keep a close eye on. Like, again, we don't have, details. They haven't released any of that, but very cool. Like being able to virtually swap outfits. Like I hop on here and I'm like, I don't like my outfit, so I'm going to change.
Yes. It's giving metaverse.
It's very cool.
Well, okay, so like speaking of like outfits and stuff, this is a total aside, but like remember the bold glamour filter on TikTok that's like making rounds because it's like just so amazingly. If you're a feminine woman and you've been on TikTok, you've seen it. you already know what we're talking about. This filter is like unreal. That filter uses AI, and that's why it's different than a lot of other beauty or appearance filters that exist, because it literally like creates the mesh, whereas other filters will create like a mesh that's just like a standard mesh for a person's face, and then it like assigns like the features of the filter where a person's facial features would be. This type of filter, and the reason I'm saying this because I think it could go in line with what YouTube is doing, it literally recognizes your face from the onset and then creates like a custom face map using AI. And that's why like you can put your hand over your face and things like that, and you don't see the filter effect. So AI is so like, it's getting so advanced. Like we're still, you know, I always say like we haven't scratched the surface. Like we are in it right now. And it is just the speed at which it's moving would not surprise me if we get to a point in the very near future where like YouTube just makes AI as part of its creative suite of services. Like they're already including some of it in their tools, but like imagine how easy it would be to like jump into your recording studio if you're a creator, and like you don't have to worry about like doing the hair, the makeup and stuff. But it's not just like filters. It's not just those shitty filters that fall off your face when you move quick. It's an entire like mixed reality experience powered by AI. That is the future of where we're going with some of this stuff. So I can't wait to see what YouTube does with it. Talk to me about Meta.
This one, I don't know. It's a lot.
I know.
So I feel like they're a little bit all over the place because they are. This is kind of an AI update, this beginning part, but so they're planning to release their first pair of smart glasses in 2025 alongside a neural interface smartwatch that will control them. So if you've seen the image, it basically looks like in your glasses, you can see who you're talking to, and then on your watch, you'll be able to see like a selfie view of yourself. It's very interesting. So this is more AR related. So these, I guess, Zuckerberg is predicting that these are going to be widely used as phones, these sunglasses or these glasses. And then, of course, they're doing their whole thing with the Quest 3. They've slashed the prices on both the Quest 2 and Quest 3.
Yeah, because wasn't it like some insane, like $10,000 or something ridiculous?
No, I think it was like $1,500, which to compare the Quest 3 to the Quest 2 was around, don't quote me on this, but I believe it was around $400. So the jump from Quest 2 to Quest 3 is pretty big. So they've slashed the prices by like a couple hundred on the Quest 3 and I think like 100 on the Quest 2 just recently. But then, of course, you know, Zuckerberg is easily distracted. Like if we saw Instagram, they're going to steal the stories. TikTok is getting big. They're going to replicate the feature. Like they're just all over the place trying to steal all of these new ideas and come up with new ideas. So AI, of course, is the next new thing. So before anyone else can do it, Zuckerberg has decided that I'm going to read the whole quote because it literally sounds like AI wrote it itself. Quote, we're creating a new top-level product group at Meta focused on generative AI to turbocharge our work in this area. We're starting by pulling together a lot of the teams working on generative AI across the company into one group focused on building delightful experiences around this technology into all of our different products. So again, this is kind of like the YouTube update. This isn't anything specific on AI. It's just a step into the direction of where it looks like every company is going, which is incorporating AI into some part of their app.
They definitely used AI to write that shit. That quote.
Yeah, delightful experiences.
Oh my God.
Turbocharge our work in this area. Yeah, AI wrote that shit.
Talk to me about what Snapchat is doing then too, because like everyone seems like they have like some sort of a chat bot. A lot of these platforms are starting to integrate chat bots, including I think like Microsoft. We didn't put this in the newsletter, but Microsoft just announced that it's acquiring or going to be building out a new product companion within their Microsoft suite of tools that's like an AI virtual assistant. So that in itself will function much similar to like a chat bot. But tell me about what Snapchat's doing with it.
I think the Snapchat one is really cool. So this is initially only available to anyone that is paying the $3.99 a month to be a Snapchat Plus subscriber. So basically it's a chat bot inside of Snapchat that kind of looks like one of your Snapchat friends might. So it's named My AI. And I guess the way like the Snapchat founders or developers are looking at it is that this is in the near future, in addition to just talking to our friends and family, they're looking at it like we're going to start talking to AI every day. In this screenshot, I included my AI, user message my AI and said, "Hi, like, can you write me a haiku about my cheese obsessed friend Lucas?" And my AI responded with Lucas's love for cheese, Gouda brie, and I don't know how to pronounce this cheese, camembert.
Camembert.
There we go. Melts hearts, not just cheese. I mean, it's not that great of a haiku, but
Oh my God.
so those are the kind of questions that you would probably ask my AI. So it's basically like having a chat GPT friend inside of Snapchat, except it has been trained to adhere to all of Snapchat's like trust and safety guidelines. So you're not going to be able to ask it like any inappropriate answers. You're not going to be able to like ask it to write an entire essay for your homework prompt. So they're keeping an eye on that, and they will be, reporting and watching any inappropriate answers. But if you look in the newsletter, the little Bitmoji that my AI has, like this little alien dude, it's cool. I like the idea. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, again, it's going to be so commonplace on like a lot of these platforms that we use every day to just have some sort of like a little AI chatbot. It's going to be as ubiquitous as having an exit button on a pop-up window. Like at one point in time, everything is just going to have that. And I mean, I'm here for it. And I think we didn't go too deep into like what you had mentioned in the newsletter introduction today, but that's exactly it. You said something about AI is not here to take your jobs. It really isn't. It's just here to like help and make our work better. And so if having an AI chatbot on Snapchat makes my life a little bit easier when I'm hanging out or talking to my friends, like I'm gonna fucking use it.
Like the way I would ask, I would just be like, okay, this is what my crush just sent me. Now write me a good answer in response to my crush. Like, that's how I would
that
do
is the real hard-hitting facts right there.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Oh my God, I love that so much. So one of the final things that I wanted to add to this AI conversation as we're talking about this is to just like zoom it out all the way to like the very highest level. Like we're doing a lot of AI image generation, right? It's like no secret people are using apps like Midjourney or Dolly or that Lensa app to like make your own photos. There's all these AI filters on like TikTok and Instagram. So like AI image generation is not necessarily a new concept. But one of the biggest challenges that people have had, especially like creatives who are really like getting into the technical side of AI and like want to have more control over their images that they're generating, the biggest challenge is just that there's no control over some of these, like the randomness or like the poses of your characters, which makes it really hard to make, your AI generated content repeatable. So we all know that there's like tons of use cases and efficiencies and kind of just like creative shortcuts that AI can help you do with your content, whether it's like video or imagery or whatever it is. But if you can't like replicate the same style or creative aesthetic each time, it gets hard to use those for anything like really usable. So all of which is to say, there's been a major update in the AI image generation world that I think is worth talking about. It's very like complex and goes layers and layers deep, but just on a surface level, it's this thing called ControlNet. And we've been talking about it on Twitter Spaces. We've been hearing a lot about it in the community. I haven't personally used it yet, but I'm going to try it out this week. Basically, it's like it's a tool that you can use in collaboration with Stable Diffusion, which is an image generation tool that basically solves for a lot of the lack of control issues. It's really cool. You can create frame by frames of a model in a very specific pose. They have this like skeletal pose guide that you can actually like drag the different limbs to different parts of like how you would want the person to be posed. So like people will upload like a picture of their face, maybe on a green screen or just like a background that's cut out, upload it to Stable Diffusion, use the ControlNet to create a skeletal frame, and then prompt that image to say like, I want this person's face riding on the back of a lion in the Sahara Desert in the summer or something like that. And then like, I want them specifically in this pose. That's the key piece of this that was always missing, was like replicating that success and having people in the same poses and having just like more control over the system overall. You can literally take a sketch and turn it into AI art. So people have been like having their kids like scribble art and then running it through Stable Diffusion with ControlNet, and it turns it into like a fully realized AI generated image. It's crazy.
I need to try this. Sounds super cool.
This is just, it's only been like a couple weeks out now. Lots of backlash, of course, naturally coming from like different artistic communities. The point is that it's like, it's here. Some people have called it like one of the biggest AI updates since ChatGPT, which is weird because it's like we've only been living this life for like 6 months now.
Yeah. Slow down.
So this is a really big advancement, and it just shows you like how quickly this stuff is moving forward. So I have a little blurb about it in the newsletter. If you're listening to this later in the week, you can go back to our Substack and check out what I'm talking about. Oh, I also wanted to let everyone know here as well, we're going to be doing a little bit of a women's workshop this week, serendipitously happening on March 8th at 12 p.m. Eastern noon. You can also watch the replay if you can't catch it live. But being that Women's Day, International Women's Day, is this Wednesday, you know, we wanted to celebrate and uplift and actually do something meaningful for that. So as part of this cohort, we're hosting a panel. We're diving into, you know, the unique challenges and opportunities of women entrepreneurs and founders and creators. Have so many amazing topics that we're going to dive into. Everything from like reframing your narrative to honoring your feminine approach as a female leader, as a businesswoman. What are the hindering beliefs and sort of systemic challenges that prevent us from like building our businesses the way we want to? So it's going to be really good. I'm so excited for it. I'll make sure to link it wherever this podcast is being streamed. It's fucking Women's Month, you guys. It's March. Yeah. Like, we're here to live it out, live our best women's lives this month, and this is just the start of it. Don't let the bro speak on like Twitter and on LinkedIn tell you that, like, you know, because I said something in the newsletter about like how this is the time of year where all the platitudes start of like 10 women that inspire me. I'm like, where the fuck was that like 3 months ago, dude? Like, why is it only this month that they inspire you? So, you know, instead of just like the same canned sort of responses and platitudes everywhere, like do something, think about this month and like the people, the amazing women around you, and do something to uplift and support them, not just this month, but all year around, and find ways to better advocate for them or to give a voice to women who don't have one or are unable to have one compared to many men. So many men. Okay, I'm done. That was 50 Cent was playing in my head. All right, you guys. I think that that's a wrap for today.
It's a wrap.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
Anything to add before we cut it out for the evening? Otherwise, we'll see you guys all back next week.
No, I think we did it all.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the newsletter, subscribe to us on YouTube, and you can catch this podcast wherever you listen to your podcast. Although if you're listening to it now, you probably already know that because you found it somehow. But all right. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. That's a wrap for this week's episode of the Sauce Pod. Hope you enjoyed yourself, maybe even learned a thing or two. Don't forget, you can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can also subscribe to our newsletter that goes out every Monday night. All of the latest and greatest tips, news, and trends for content creators and digital entrepreneurs. Until next time, stay saucy.